Hello everyone, welcome back to another English online session. Today I am going to explain you the fifth chapter from the textbook Hornbill, the Ailing planet, the green movement's role. This chapter focuses on the factors that are responsible for the declining health of the earth. The chapter was originally an article written by Nani Palkhivala, which was published in the newspaper The Indian Express on November 23, 1994. The writer discusses the green movement, how a zoo in Zambia declared human being as world's most dangerous animals. The writer also focuses on overpopulation, deforestation, and what should be our responsibility towards the environment. So this is more serious account, not like a story. This is one of the prominent problem we are facing today. Actually, the environmental issues are reaching its peak, especially global warming and people creating a lot of awareness. Antarctica is melting. So many problems are going on. But this article was published some 26 years back. On that time itself, it has that kind of a seriousness, but still we couldn't tackle it as expected. The problem is still in its peak. Now let me give you a few details about the writer. Nani Palkhivala is an Indian jurist and civil rights activist. He was born on January 16, 1920 in Bombay. Now it's in Mumbai. And he was died December 11, 2002. Was revered in India as a top authority on constitutional law and government finance. In 1958, Palkhivala, a lawyer and a private businessman, began an annual tradition of publicly expounding on the country's budget. These speeches brought him renown as an expert on taxation and as a gifted orator. So he was a very talented person who foreseen the problems we are facing today. By the time he had foreseen it, and he asked us to do more things to keep our environment safe, but we couldn't do it in the way it is expected. Because of that, we are every year flood, all those problems we are facing, and increase of heat, global warming, and so many wildfire like disasters we are facing every year, because we haven't done enough to stop all these things. The chapter The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role was an article published in the newspaper The Indian Express on November 24, 1994, written by Nani Palkhivala. He wrote about the declining health condition of Earth. The Green Movement, which started nearly 25 years ago from 1994, spread so quickly in the world history. The world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand in 1972. From some time, our views have shifted from seeing Earth and its resources as irreversible to complete opposite. We now understand that our resources need to converse for future generations. Copernicus taught mankind how the Earth and the other planets revolve around the Sun, and it was a complete change which evolved human perception. Now the Earth is seen as a living organism of which we are an integral part. Earth has its own metabolism and vital needs which humans should respect and preserve. So by the time in 1994, when he was writing this, that movement, green movement, it has developed, it has spread, because people within a short span, the awareness reached the people. People are more aware about the solar system and the earth position and other planets, and also start understanding earth also has its own needs, and these resources we have, it is not endless. We must preserve it or reserve it for the future generation. Earth has its own metabolism. It is suffering. The earth is suffering because of human activities. So such things came to light, and many people started creating awareness as well as advocating for the good cause of earth to save our environment. Earth is now like a patient whose health is declining. We as human beings are now realizing our duty to be good managers of the planet and to be responsible trustees to conserve the environment so that we can pass a legacy to the future generations. Sustainable development was popularized in the year 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. In the reports, sustainable development is termed as a type of development that needs the needs of the present generation without wasting or compromising with the natural resources so that future generations can meet their needs. In a cage in Zambia, there reads a notice: the world's most dangerous animal, and inside the cage is a mirror that depicted that humans are the world's most dangerous animals. So here we could understood that this term sustainable development, preserving the resources and without compromising the needs of the present generation, but preserving it for the future generation. This kind of motive was popularized from 1987. And another important point highlighted here, there was a cage in the zoo in Zambia that a cage was allotted. Only one mirror was there inside the cage, and the caption written like the most dangerous animal in the world. So if you go to the cage and look into, you will see yourself. So they proclaimed human as the most dangerous animal or harmful animal to the environment and other living beings. Through the efforts of new agencies in the world, now humans are seen as the most dangerous animals. They have realized the importance of shifting to a new system based on partnership. Humans share the earth with about 1.4 million living species according to the classification of scientists. Biologists calculate that there are still millions of other species which are yet to classify due to their weakness or due to lack of knowledge about them. Brandit Commission was one of the early international commissions who dealt with the questions of ecology and environment. They commissioned Mr. L.K. Jaw as one of their commission members who was an Indian citizen. Its first report raised a question that are we going to leave a burned planet with arid deserts, poor landscapes, and a poor environment for our future generations. So this commission understood that the time we must awake and act. This is the time, and it is high time to awake and act to save our environment. Otherwise, within a few decades, we may face large scale consequences, and we are facing it now because we haven't acted the way they expected. That's why we are facing a lot of natural disasters now. There are four principal biological systems that form the foundation of the global economic system, according to the book by Leslie R. Brown. The global economic prospect: fisheries, grasslands, forest, and croplands. These four systems provide food and raw materials for industry except for minerals and synthetics. These systems have reached an unsustainable point where their productivity has impaired. With this, fisheries will collapse, the forest will slowly disappear, grasslands will turn into barren wastelands, and croplands will become worse. Overfishing is very common nowadays, where people are becoming protein conscious. So here the writer was saying that our biological system has divided into four, and all the four areas we are overusing the resources, and it almost at the verge of a collapse, because we are because of the need we are overfishing. We are using the forest, we are cutting down woods for the basic needs, and it destroy the forest. um, and wildfire also another reason to the destruction of the forest. And grasslands, the overuse of grasslands, it make the lands into barren wastelands. In poor countries, forests are being cut down on a large scale to obtain wood for cooking. In some areas, firewood is more costly than food. Many species are under destruction. In tropical forest and deserts come first in order to comparison to humans. The ancient inheritance of tropical forest is constantly wearing away at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. Also, the burning of dung is preventing the soil to become natural fertilizers. To meet the need for fuel wood demand, there is a need to increase the rate of forest plantation by fivefold by the year 2020. We are losing the forest closer to an acre and a half to a second, according to James Speth, president of the World Resources Institute. So here we understood we are in very much in need of saving all these resources. It was predicted in 1994. We know that they kept aim of 2020. We are now in 2020. We knew that what are the things happened. Last year only this Amazon fire destroyed a lot of forest area, also wildfire in Australia. Human effort was needed. Many NGOs are taking initiatives to save these resources, but still we aren't enough to save this. We are not doing enough effort to save these our environment or these four principal biological systems. According to Article 48A of the Constitution of India, the state should try to protect and improve the environment and must protect the forest and wildlife of the country. But the painful fact is that laws are not followed in India. For example, casteism, untouchability, and bounded labor, they are abolished but still are followed shamelessly. Over the last 4 decades, India is losing forest at a harmful rate of 3.7 million acres a year, as per the report of the Parliament's Estimate Commission. The large area of forest land is now treeless, and the actual loss is estimated to be 8 times the rate given by government statistics. So this was the statistics of 1994. You can now imagine how much harm we have done in when we reach 2020. A large scale of forest has been eradicated from the land and it became barren land. Government establishing or implementing a lot of rules, but the people, if they follow it properly, only we can execute this plan properly. Otherwise it is not a successful one. It won't become a successful one if we are not following it. This is what happening in India, and he is giving examples like casteism and untouchability, everything. We are claiming that it was abolished, but still it is existing in our society. According to the 3-year study conducted by the United Nations using satellites and aerial photography, our environment has got so bad that in 88 countries it has reached the critical stage. Growth of world population at such a fast rate is one of the strongest reasons behind the distortion of the future of mankind. When it took more than a million years to reach the first billion population, in the next 100 years, the population number increased by the next billion numbers. In the 20th century, the population reached 3.7 billion and the present number is 5.7. Presently, the case of the population increasingly 1 million every 4 days. So this was the case of 1994. We all know what is the population today. It's 7.8. So in a very rapid growth happening in population, the invention of medicines and all those things, facilities given to us, made this increase of population, and it is also a harmful factor to the environment. The consumption of a large scale resources, and also for the need buildings or agriculture, for all those needs we are just destroying forest, deforestation, and all the things are happening because of the rapid growth of this population. It is like a population explosion. Within 50 years we may reach 1,000 crore people in this world. So you can imagine what might be the condition. Development is the best possible solution for overpopulation. It can help in reduction in fertility and rise in income, to spread more education and improvement in the health. But if the number of population will keep increasing, it may not help in attaining any kind of development. As the rich get richer, the poor births children who are bound to remain poorer. More population will lead to more unemployment. Humans should not be treated like cattle who are sterilized by force. But to control population, some element of force has to be put on for family planning. Now humans have to choose between population control and keeping up with the poverty. So population is one of the important or prominent problem we are facing today. The rapid increase of population, and some governments are forcing it to decrease the population. They are forcing family planning or cutting down the benefits. Many countries are doing it, but according to the writer, it cannot be forced to the people. The people must be aware of the situation, and they must help the government to control this population. The population of India is 920 million, that is more than the population of Africa and South Africa together. If the population is not controlled, most of the people would die in their hut with just a hope. But with the time, people are now concerned about the survival of the planet. We have now started to see our existence with a comprehensive view. Solving environmental problems are a passport to the future and should not be seen as a remark of our death. We should see world as a whole and not as different parts. So here the writer is asking us to work together. By the time the article was written, 92 crore was the population of India. Now it's 130. It's more than that. The latest population census will be conducted very soon. We will get the exact number of population very soon, but we are in a very risky way of going to the future, because if we are not reducing the overusing of these resources, the availability of resources may be decreased, and the future generation will suffer a lot, especially drinkable water. Now many places in India also we are facing this water scarcity. So slowly many cities are running out of water facility. So many problems we are going to face if we are not acting properly now. In the era of responsibility towards the environment, industry plays an important role. Chairman of DuPont, Mr. Ullard, declared himself as Chief Environmental Officer, and such attitude in other businessmen can have a great effect on the transformation. When Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister, her one statement, which was so well chosen, she said that no human on this earth holds a permanent tenure. We all have life, possession, and a full repairing lease. According to Mr. Lester Brown, we have borrowed the earth from our children. These are the words of many eminents around the world who were ready to take responsibility and act on it. We need more people like them to make a difference. Otherwise, we cannot offer a good future to our coming generation. This chapter should not be studied only in the exam point of view. This is the awareness to you people also. We must understand what surroundings we are living, and what we should do to save our environment. And after 26 years now we are learning this article, and it's you all understood that it's high time to do something better to preserve our environment safe, and give a better future for the coming generation. Hope you understood this article. Now read the article. Don't forget to have a dictionary. You can refer the words, new words, and you can write the meaning on the word you have found in the text. See you in the next class. Bye.